Hello students, this is Professor Deepa Tangankar dealing with financial accounting. In the previous class we have solved one problem which was in case of 15 marks for conversion of single entry data into double entry system. Today we are dealing with yet another problem. This is again an illustration. I have purposely taken an illustration so that you understand it from you can just refer your text and you can just make a note onto the transactions which you have not understood. I'll be explaining this problem first the question and then we start solving the problem. Alright, so let's begin with the question. So here the data has been given saying that Mr. Ravi keeps the books in the single entry system and has furnished the following details. So the balance sheet has been given and then you have cash transactions being given. Okay, and then there is other information being given. Okay, and then you got to also there's at the end they are saying that you got to prepare debtors account, creditors account, bills payable account and bills receivable account and so on. So let's first read down the question so that we get to know what are we supposed to do. Okay, now here the balance sheet has been given. So Mr. Ravi keeps the books in single entry system and has furnished the following details. So first one is balance sheet as on 1/1/2019. So this is nothing but the opening balance sheet. Okay, so as on 1/1/2019, liabilities, amount and then the assets and the amount. Capital, bills payable, sundry creditors, cash, bills receivable, furniture, building, machinery, stock and debtors. So the balance of balance sheet is 64,500. And then you have the cash transactions for the year wherein the opening balance of cash is given, that is 1000, debtors 10,200, cash sales, then bills receivable, bills payable, creditors, then cash purchase, office expenses, wages, carriage out inward, octroi, painting and stationery, drawing and closing balance of cash. Alright, then you have the other information wherein you got to provide discount. The other information is you have credit sales, discount allowed, then you have credit purchase, discount received, return inward, bills receivable received, bills receivable, bad debts, bills payable accepted, closing stock, and then you got to provide 5% reserves on doubtful debts, depreciation on plant and machinery and furniture at 10% and building at 5%. You are required to prepare debtors account, creditors account, bills receivable account, bills payable account, and then also prepare trading and profit and loss account for the year ending 31st/12/2019 and balance sheet as on 31st/12/2019. So at the beginning we had opening balance sheet and now we got to prepare the closing, okay, for the year ending 31st/12/2019 and balance sheet for the same. Okay, so this is the information. We'll quickly start with the account. So let's first begin with the debtors account. Now here we got to prepare debtors account, we got to prepare bills receivable. See, debtors account, then total creditors account, bills receivable account, bills payable account, and then you got to prepare trading and profit and loss account and balance sheet. I have just taken some of the as per my convenience I have just drawn the accounts. Lines are less here but I can just take it as and how I solve the problem. Alright, so let's begin. Now what is first being given? Capital. Now where will this particular capital amount come? You have it in the balance sheet. So where will this amount come? So let's take this capital to the balance sheet. So capital, okay, well capital goes to the balance sheet, liability side. So let's go to the balance sheet and to the liability side you have capital. Okay, now we'll just take this amount in the inner column. So we'll write this amount in the inner column because we got to write the opening, this is the opening balance. Okay, so we still need to find out the closing balance of capital. So we'll write it in the inner column. Okay, we need to add the net profit and all. So that addition and deletion is to be made. So we'll take this capital into the inner column, so the liability side of balance sheet. Okay, next, after capital you have bills payable. Okay, I'll just take a little on top. Okay, after capital you have bills payable. Now bills payable is, this is nothing but the opening balance of bills payable. And where will this amount come? Opening balance of bills payable goes to bills payable account, because we have taken that particular account. Okay, we got to prepare that particular account. So this amount goes to bills payable account. And where will the opening balance come? The opening balance comes to the credit side of bills payable account. So here bills payable, and then the entry will be by balance brought down. Okay, so here by balance brought down. Okay, next, so after bills payable you have sundry creditors. So sundry creditors opening amount, where will this particular amount come? It goes to the credit side of sundry creditors, that is total creditors account. So let's go to total creditors account. Here it is. Okay, and what will be the entry? Same like what you have done for bills payable, by balance brought down. Okay, and then the amount. All right, next, after sundry creditors, coming to the asset side. Now cash, this is the opening balance of cash as on 1/1/2019, balance sheet as on 1/1/2019. So there's nothing but the opening balance of cash. Now where will the opening balance of cash go? It goes to the cash account, and here we have already been given in terms of cash account, cash transaction for the year end, for the year. Okay, so that means this is the opening balance which is to be brought down to the cash account, and this has already been taken into the cash account. So you can see in the question itself it has been given, that is opening balance of cash is 1000. So this entry will be skipped off because it has already been posted. Next, bills receivable 500. Now this is nothing but again to be taken to bills receivable account, and that is nothing but the opening balance of bills receivable. So let's go to bills receivable account, and what will be the transaction here? To balance brought down. Okay, and then the amount 500 rupees. Okay, next, after bills receivable, the next is amount of furniture, building, machinery, and then stock and so on. So now if you see here, this is the amount of furniture is 2000. This is nothing but the opening balance of furniture. If we prepare furniture account, then this balance goes over there. But in the question, if you see, there is no transaction being given regarding, nothing more has been given in case of furniture, building and machinery. We just have depreciation to be given. So here we'll consider this to be as the closing, just a minute. We'll consider it to be the closing balance of furniture, building and machinery, and we'll directly take it to the balance sheet. Okay, but we actually need the closing amount. This is the opening amount, but there is no purchase of machinery being done, or there is no such transaction wherein sale of machinery, sale of furniture is being done. So this we'll consider it to be as a closing balance, for which we got to give the depreciation. That's it, because that has been given in the other information. We need to provide depreciation. You can see here. See, provide depreciation, okay, on machinery, furniture at 10% and building at 5%. So this is the only information being given. So let's take this particular amount of furniture and building and machinery to the balance sheet. Okay, so directly to the balance sheet. Here, where will this particular amount come? You will take it in the inner column, because we got to prepare the we got to give depreciation, but I'll write it here, and then we'll write it in the inner column. So this is in case of furniture, building and machinery. Write the amount in the inner column, because we got to give the depreciation. So the next one, after land building, okay, after furniture, building and machinery, next you have is stock. Now stock, this is nothing but the opening stock, and where will you take the opening stock? It goes to trading account. So let's go to trading account. Yes, trading and profit and loss account. So what will you write here? To opening stock. Okay, I'll take it in the inner column. To opening stock. And what is the amount? 15,000. Okay, next, after opening stock, next is you have debtors. Now debtors is 10,000 rupees. Okay, where will you take this amount? This is nothing but the opening balance of debtors. So go to the debtors account, and then same like what you had done in case of bills receivable. Here, opening balance of bills receivable. So take the same in case of debtors account. To opening balance of debtors, to balance brought down, and what is the amount? 10,000 rupees. Okay, next, after debtors, the next is you have, yeah, that's in case of balance sheet. Let's go to the cash transaction. Okay, now what is given in case of cash transaction? Opening balance of cash. This entry will not come because that is being posted from the balance sheet. I've already explained about this. Next, from debtors, cash received from debtors. Where will this entry come? It goes to the debtors account. So what will be the entry here? It is received from debtors, cash received from debtors. So what will be the entry? Cash account debit to debtors account. So here is the entry from debtors account, and then one more entry will be to the debtors account. And which side? It will cash account debit to debtors account. So debtors account will be credited by cash. Okay, by cash. And what is the amount? 30,200. 30,200. Okay, next, after debtors, yes, after debtors you have cash sales. Cash sales is 10,000. Where will this particular amount come? Cash sales comes in case of trading account. So let's go to trading account. Okay, here you have written opening stock. Sales, purchases comes to the debit side, sales comes to the credit side. So buy sales. Okay, and then you have, this is nothing but cash sales. Okay, so let's write it as cash. Okay, I'll just put a I'll just underline this. Yes, cash sales is how much? 10,000. I'll write it in the inner column because if at all we have credit sales, then we need to add the amount and write it in the outer column. So I'll write this amount in the inner column. Okay, after cash sales, next is you have bills receivable 300. Now where will this particular amount come? It is nothing but cash transaction for the year ending, and in that you have received from bills receivable is 300. So this is nothing but the entry for this will be, it is nothing but cash received against bills. So cash account is debited by bills receivable to bills receivable. So what will be the bills receivable entry for bills receivable? What will be the entry for this? Cash account debit to bills receivable account. So bills receivable account is going to be credited by cash, same like what we have done over here for debtors. By cash 30,200, similar kind of entry. So the amount is 300. Okay, next, after cash receivable, bills receivable, okay, after this entry, next let's go to the payment. Okay, now cash paid. Okay, bills payable 1,000 rupees. You have paid the bills, okay, which is worth rupees 1,000 rupees. So it is nothing but bills paid. Okay, so this entry is, what will be the entry for this? Bills payable account debit to cash. So cash account has been credited and bills payable account will be debited. So let's go to bills payable account, and here to cash. Okay, and what is the amount? This to cash, and what's the amount? 1000 rupees. Okay, next, after bills payable, next, paid to creditors. You're paying it to the creditors, and what is the amount? 17,800. Okay, so since you're paying, where will be the entry? The cash account is being credited. Okay, so bills pay creditors account is debited. So what will be the entry for this? Creditors account debit to cash. Okay, so we have one entry into the, here we have an entry which is being given in the question, that is creditors, paid to creditors 17,000. So creditors account will be debited to cash account. Okay, this is nothing but again paid against bills, so you can write here as paid. Okay, and what is the amount here? 17,000, 17,800. Okay, next, now here cash purchase. Cash purchase, where will this particular entry go? It goes to the, here we have cash sales. Cash sales trading account. Cash purchase again to the trading account debit side. Okay, so let's go to the trading account debit side. We have written opening stock. Next, after this comes the if at all you have uh, any purchases and all, then the purchases comes to the credit side or debit side. So to purchases, and what is the amount? It is nothing but cash purchase we have done. So I'll just underline this again. Okay, to purchases in this cash and credit. So we have cash purchases, okay, we have cash purchase which is 2000 rupees. So we'll write it in the inner column, same like what we have done in case of credit per sale. I mean we have done in case of sales. Okay, next, after cash purchase, yes, after purchases, after cash purchase, we have office expenses 1500. Okay, where will this particular entry come? It goes to the profit and loss account because that is an expense. Okay, so let's go to profit and loss account. Leave a little space for the transactions which are relating to trading account, and then we have, let's take the office expenses. So to office expenses, and what's the amount? 10,000. Okay, next, no, I'm sorry, not 10,000, 1500. 1500. Okay, next, after office expenses, the next thing that you have is wages. Where will you take wages? Wages goes to the trading account. So let's go to trading account. Here, to wages. To wages, 5000 rupees. Okay, next, after wages, you have carriage inward. Carriage inward is nothing, where will this particular entry come? This, in case of carriage inward, which is 1500, it comes to profit and sorry, trading account, and next is in terms of debtors account. Okay, so let's go to the Okay, one entry will be to the debtors account, because that is nothing but buy carriage, it is nothing but like purchase written. Okay, so carriage inward, and what is the amount? 600 rupees. No, carriage inward is, yeah, 600 rupees. So 600 rupees, and next, where will be the other entry? It goes to profit and loss account, sorry, trading account, to carriage inward, and then 600 rupees. All right, next, after carriage inward, I'm just sorry here, we have not, yes, carriage inward directly comes to trading account, not in case of debtors account. So we'll just cancel that particular entry and directly take it to the trading account here. Okay, to carriage inward. All right, next, after carriage inward, octroi. Octroi comes in case of trading account. So octroi is 500. So let's go to trading account. Yes, here, to octroi, it's an expense. To octroi, and what's the amount? 500 rupees. Okay, next, after octroi, printing and stationery. Printing and stationery, 2000 rupees goes to profit and loss account. Okay, so let's go to profit and loss account here. After that comes to the debit side of profit and loss account. So to printing and stationery, printing and stationery, and what is the amount? 2000 rupees. Okay, next, after printing and stationery, let's go on top and check out. After printing and stationery, you have drawings. Drawings goes to balance sheet under the head capital. So let's go to capital. In balance sheet under the head capital, I'll leave a little space and then write less drawings. What is the amount? The amount is 8000. So write here as 8000. Okay, so 8000. Okay, next, I have left a little space because we need to add net profit. All right, and if at all there are any other entries, then that additional capital also, then we need to add it. That's how I've left little space and then taken drawings. Next, closing cash. Okay, closing balance of cash. This is nothing, 2200. This is nothing but the closing balance of cash, which goes to closing balance of, goes directly to the balance sheet. So let's take it to the balance sheet here. After plant and machinery and so on, here we have cash, and what is the amount? 2200. 2200. Next, after cash, the next one is after cash, that is closing balance of cash, nothing more. All the transactions in case of balance sheet and trading and cash account are being taken. Now we have the additional information. So here you have credit sales. Now credit sales goes to 45,500. Credit sales goes to profit and loss account. I'm sorry, trading account. Okay, so here we have written cash sales. Next line you will take credit sales, and what is the amount of credit sales? That is 45,500. Okay, 45,500. Write the amount, calculate this particular total and write it in the outer column. What will be the amount in the outer column? 55,500. Okay, so let's write it down. Okay, so we have written the amount as credit sales 45,500 and the amount in the inner column because we also have returns. Okay, so we'll write the amount in the inner column. I hope you have understood this. This credit sales goes to the trading account. Next, after credit sales, you have discount allowed. Now, discount allowed is an expense. So, one entry will be to the profit and loss account and another entry to the debtors account, and which side it will be to the credit side. So let's go to profit and loss account. Okay, and here after here two uh, two discount allowed, discount allowed. Okay, and what is the entry here? Discount allowed, the amount is 500. Discount allowed is 500. Okay, one entry will be to the profit and loss account, another entry will be to the debtors account, and by discount allowed, and how much is the amount? 500. Okay, next, after discount allowed, what is the other information that you have? After discount allowed, you have credit purchase 20,000. Credit purchase, where will you take it? One entry will be to the trading account and another entry will be to the creditors account. Okay, so trading account, we have written cash purchase, now it will be credit. Okay, credit purchase, and how much is the amount? 20,000. So write down here as 20,000. Okay, and once you write the amount, the cash purchase is over, credit purchase is over. If there is any purchase return and all, then you will deduct that particular amount. So we will leave a little space and then write the amount because we also have purchase return. Okay. Okay, so amount is 22,000. We'll write it in the inner column because we also have purchase return. Okay, so next, after cash purchase, what is the next information that has been given? Discount received. Now discount received is an income. Where will it come? Profit and loss account, debit or credit? Debit all the expenses, credit all the income. So profit and loss account, after you finish with the you leave one line because we need to take down the gross profit. So by discount received, and how much is the amount of discount received? Discount received is 1,000. Okay, one entry is to the credit side of uh, trading balance profit and loss account, and another entry will be to the creditors account by discount. Okay, so let's go to the creditors account. By one entry is to the debit side, credit side of profit and loss account, another entry will be to the debit side of uh, creditors account to discount received. And how much is the entry? Discount received is 1,000 rupees. Next, after discount received, then bills receivable. Bills receivable is 700. Where will this particular bills receivable go? So this is in case of bills receivable, that is 700. So there will be two entries for all the other information that has been given. So one entry will be to the debit side of bills receivable account, that is this bills receivable account debit to debtors. Okay, so to debtors 700 rupees. Okay, and another entry will be 700 and another entry will be to the asset side of, one entry is over here and another entry will be to the debtors account. Okay, by bills receivable by bills receivable account, and then the amount is how much? 700. Okay, next. So after discount allowed and discount received, what is the next thing that you have? Next is return inward. Okay, now return inward, where does this particular amount come? Return inward is 600 and bills receivable received. Okay, just a minute. Just make a small correction over here. You have return inwards is 600 and return outward is 500. So we'll take this return inward and outward. Return inward is nothing but sales return. So here you will write this particular amount, that is less. Okay, returns inward. You have sold and then you're getting it back. That is how it is inward. Okay, so less returns, and how much is the amount? Returns is 600. Okay, so write down the amount as 600 rupees here. Okay, minus this particular amount. So when you minus, so here is the entry for sales return, that is carriage inward 600 rupees in case of profit and loss trading account, and another entry of 600 will come to the debtors account. Okay, so here to sales return, by sales return 600 rupees, that is carriage inward. Carriage outward is the next entry. So carriage outward, one entry will be to the here purchases, that is purchase return. Carriage outward is nothing but purchase return. You are sending the goods out. Okay, so so it is nothing but purchase return. So one entry is to the debit side of trading account and another entry will be to the creditors account here. I mean to the debtors account. Carriage outward, that is purchase return. Creditors account purchase return, that is carriage outward 500 rupees. Carriage inward comes in case of debtors account. Carriage outward, that is purchase returns, goes to the creditors account. Alright, next. Okay, after return inward and outward, next is you have bills receivable received, that is 700. Now what will be the entry for bills receivable received? This is nothing but the journal entry will be bills receivable account debit to debtors account. So bills receive will go first to the bills receivable account. Bills receivable account debit to debtors account, which we have already passed the entry here. Okay, the entry is 700 rupees. Bills receivable account debit to debtors account, and the next entry will be debtors account will be credited. Okay, here By bills receivable account 700 rupees. Alright, next here, this is the entry. By bills receivable account 700 rupees. Next, after this, you have bad debts. Now bad debts is an expense. Where will it go? Bad debts, it goes, first entry will be to the profit and loss account. So here, to bad debts. And what is the amount of bad debts? 400 rupees. So you write here as 400 rupees. Next, one effect is to the profit and loss account. Another effect will be to the credit side of debtors account. So by bad debts. Here. By bad debts, and what is the amount here? 400 rupees. 400 rupees. Okay, next, after bad debts, bills payable accepted. Okay, here bills receivable received. Same way, bills payable accepted. So one entry will be to the bills receivable. One entry. What will be the entry for this? Bills receivable, bills payable accepted. Okay, so creditors account debit to bills payable account. So creditors account debit to bills payable account. And how much is the amount here? Creditors account is debited to bills payable account. The amount is 2000 rupees. Okay, next, one, bills payable accepted. The entry is bills payable accepted. Okay, so bills payable account debit to, creditors account debit to bills payable account. So now bills payable account will be credited by creditors account. Okay, by creditors account, amount is 2000 rupees. Alright, next, after this, you have closing stock. Now closing stock 20,500. One effect will be to the trading account. Okay, where will one effect will be in the trading account, another effect will be into the balance sheet. So by closing stock, how much is the amount here? Closing stock is 20,500. Okay, one effect to the trading account, another effect will be to the balance sheet. So let's go to the balance sheet. Closing stock 500 to 20,500. Let's go to the balance sheet. Yes, here closing stock comes to the asset side. Okay, so by closing stock 20,500. I hope you have understood. Next, after this, yeah, all the entries are over. After closing stock, there is no other entry. So the next one is provide 5% reserve for doubtful debts. This is nothing but RDD, and RDD you will give it on debtors. Okay, so we first need to total down the debtors. Before we total down the debtors, we will first close the bills receivable account. So let's close the bills receivable account. So when we close the when we close the creditor bills receivable account, what will be the total here? 1200 rupees. Okay, so 1200 rupees. Okay, write down the same total to the other end, 1200 rupees. Okay, what will be the balance? 1200 minus 300, which is nothing but 900 rupees. 1200 minus 300 is nothing but 900 rupees. Okay, so 900 rupees. What will you write in front of this? See, we have got the opening balance of we now we are getting is the closing balance of bills receivable. So this is nothing but the balance to be carried down. We have got the debtors account also, so the amount of debtors also, so we need not take this amount to the debtors account. Okay, so by balance carried down, and this amount will go to the balance sheet in the bracket balancing figure, close the bracket. Okay, and this amount you will be taking it to the balance sheet, not to the uh, debtors account. Okay, so let's take it to the balance sheet. Okay, so in the balance sheet, bills receivable 900 rupees. Okay, now let's take that RDD point which we have left out. First we'll close the debtors account. So when you close this particular debtors account, what will be the total here? So when you close the debtors account, it will be, the balance will be 23,100. So on this amount you will be giving RDD this. Okay, it's here. You are required to here provide 5% reserve for doubtful debts. So reserve for doubtful debts, that is nothing but RDD. And on what amount will you take? We will take it on debtors account, closing balance of debtors. Okay, so this is the balance which is of debtors. On this amount, that is 23,100, on this you will be giving RDD. So where will you give RDD? One effect will be to the profit and loss account, another effect will be to the balance sheet. Okay, so in profit and loss account, to RDD. Okay, on what amount? I'll just show you the entry here. What is the balance of debtors? Look here, the balance of debtors is 23,100. So on 23,100, on this you will be giving 10%, 5%. Okay, on this if you give 5%, the amount turns to be 1,115, 1,155. Okay, next effect will be this balance of RDD will be, one effect is of RDD will be in the profit and loss account, another effect will be in the balance sheet. We will minus it from debtors. Okay, so this balance of debtors has to be carried down, right? Total debtors, this amount of 23,100 has to be brought down to balance sheet. So where will you write this? In the balance sheet, debtors, and write the amount as 23,100. Okay, 23,100. From this you will minus RDD, less RDD at 5%. Okay, RDD at 5%. Okay, so the amount is how much? 1,155. Okay, so the total amount here it will be, so the amount is going to be 21,945. Okay, next, after we close down the debtors account, what is an RDD? Next is you got to give depreciation on furniture, machinery at 10% and building at 5%. So one effect of depreciation on machinery, furniture and building, one effect will be in the profit and loss account, another effect will be in the balance sheet. So let's first go to the balance sheet itself, because we have the amount written here. Okay, so depreciation, furniture amount has been given, less depreciation. Okay, depreciation is at 10%. Okay, so depreciation at 10%. Okay, on what amount will you give? You will give this on 2,000. So 2,000, I'll just show the calculation here. Okay, 2,000 into 10% will give you how much? 200 rupees. Okay, so we'll write the amount here as 200 rupees. Outer column it will be 2000 minus 200 will be 1800. Okay, so 1800. Okay, so here it is in case of depreciation. Depreciation, one effect is in terms of a balance sheet and another effect is in the profit and loss account. Okay, so furniture at 10%. So take the amount of furniture at which is 2000 less depreciation at 10%. On 2000, if you calculate 10%, you will get 200. Write the amount in the outer column. Same is with the building. Building is at 5%. So on 16,000, if you take 5%, it turns to 800. Okay, so 16,000 minus 800, 15,200. Okay, same as in terms of machinery. Machinery amount is how much? 20,000. On this, if you give 10%, it turns to be 2,000. Outer column 18,000. Okay, so one effect of depreciation is in terms of balance sheet. Another effect will be in terms of profit and loss account. So in profit and loss account here to the debit side, to depreciation on machinery 2000, furniture 200, building 800. All right, next after depreciation, what is the other transaction that has been given? Other information is nothing more, that is you 5% of RDD is being taken, depreciation is being taken on all three. Next is you are required to prepare debtors account, bills receivable account, bills payable account, trading and profit and loss account and balance sheet, which we are already preparing. So let's close the accounts. Debtors account is already closed and the balance of this has already been taken to the balance sheet. Next, let's close the bills payable account. So 1800 plus 2000 is nothing but 3800. Okay, so 3800. So we'll start closing with the accounts. When you close the debtors account, balance of this, that is balance of debtors account, goes to the balance sheet, that is 23,100. So here we have taken in the balance sheet the debit side and on that we have given RDD. Okay, 23,100. Next we go to the closing of creditors account. So when you close the creditors account, balance of this, that is 16,700, goes to the balance sheet. To the liability side, creditors 16,700. Okay, next after this we close bills payable account, which has already been closed. Okay, first we close bills payable and bills receivable and then the balance of that will be taken to debtors and creditors account. But here the balance of bills payable and receivable is because the closing balance has already been just to find out the closing balance of bills receivable, opening balance has already been given. So we just wanted to find out the closing balance. So balance of this will be going to balance sheet. So bills receivable account, when you close, balance of 900 rupees goes to the balance sheet to the asset side. Okay, here bills receivable 900 rupees. Okay, same ways bills payable 2800 rupees, not 200. Actually the amount is, I'll just get back to the bills payable account. When you close bills payable account, the total of this is 3800 and when you tally this, that is 3800 minus 1000, you will get 2200. But I checked the whole problem, there is some mistake into the question. I will just find it out once again. I have tried all the means but I'm still not getting it. I'll let you know in the next video. Actually the amount comes here is 2200, but right now if you take 2200, the balance sheet does not tally, so we'll take it as 2800. I'll go through the question once again and let you know in the next video. Okay, so the balance of bills payable, when you tally the account, balance of this will go to the balance sheet and here it is 2800. Okay, as I said it is 2200 but I have written it as 2800. Okay, next after this you will close profit and loss account. So trading account first it will be closed. So when you close the trading account, balance of that is 75,400. Gross profit you get, which is 31,900. Bring this trading account gross profit to the profit and loss account. Okay, buy balance brought down, by gross profit carried down, sorry, brought down, not carried down. by gross profit brought down 31,900. Okay, so when you close this profit and loss account, which is 31, total will be 32,900. Balance of this is 24,345. This this is nothing but net profit which is carried down. This profit will be taken to the balance sheet to the capital. Okay, so add net profit. This profit has been brought down here, 23,445. Okay, when you total it out, that is 44,000, that is capital, 44,700 plus net profit, you get 69,045 minus drawings, which is 6145. Okay, when you total the balance sheet, there's nothing more to be taken in the balance sheet. So when you total it out, it is 80,545. I hope you have understood today's question and the way we have solved the problem. It is same like final accounts what you have studied in your PUC 1 and 2. Okay. Still, if you have any doubt, let us know. Just check the question once again, go through the video correctly. Okay. And if at all there is any query, please let us know. Forget about, apart from bills payable account, okay, there should not be any other query. But still, if you have any doubt, please let us know. Thank you and hope you have understood this video. Thank you so much.